There's a moment that happens right before you speak. Most people never notice it, but it's controlling more than you think. You walk into the room with the sentence ready. Clear, simple, direct. You already decided. Then something happens. Someone shifts in their chair. A silence runs 1 second too long. A look crosses someone's face. And before you even realize it, the sentence changes. Not completely, just enough. The sharp edge comes off. A softer word replaces the direct one. A buffer gets added at the start. And what leaves your mouth isn't what you prepared. It's quieter, safer, less final. And somewhere in you feel it the moment it happens. Not loudly, just a small recognition. Now, here's what's interesting. This isn't a confidence problem. It's not a communication problem. It's not even a pressure problem. It's something quieter than all of that. And it's been happening longer than you've noticed. The numbers in your business has felt it. The people around you have felt it. And if you're honest, you've felt it too. This video is about those final few seconds. The ones right before the decision lands. Because that's where everything is actually happening. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Let me show you where this shows up. Not in the big moments, in the small ones. The ones that feel completely normal. The first place is in meetings. You're sitting there, the direction is clear. You already know what needs to be said. You even lean forward slightly. Your mouth opens. Then someone shifts. The energy in the room changes just slightly. And instead of saying the thing, you say this. Maybe we could explore this a bit more. Let's revisit this next week. I'm open to other thoughts on this. And it feels like good leadership. Measured, thoughtful, collaborative, but nothing moves. The decision that was ready doesn't land. It floats. Everyone in the room feels it. Nobody sees it. You move on, the meeting continues. But something small already shifted. The second place is in proposals and numbers. You're reviewing something. There's a number in front of you that doesn't add up. You already know it needs to be challenged. You circle it with your pen, you're about to speak. Then, someone starts explaining it. Confident, quick, a lot of words, delivered smoothly. And instead of saying, this doesn't work, you say, can you walk me through how we got here? It sounds thoughtful. It buys time. It keeps the room comfortable. But the decision stays unspoken, and everyone adjusts around that. Not around your direction, around the gap you left. The third place is the quietest one. Nobody sees this one. You're writing a message. Simple, clear, direct boundary. You type it out, read it once, it feels right. Then you go back, add a line at the start. Something like, it just wanted to align on this. Then another one at the end. Happy to discuss if needed. You read it again, it feels safer, you hit send. But the response that comes back doesn't match what you intended. There's a confusion because the message left the room, even though the decision didn't. Now, here's what's important. Each of these moments feels small on its own. Isolated, reasonable, and normal. But look at them together. The meeting where the direction softened, the number that didn't get challenged, the message that got padded. Individually, they don't stand out. Together, they start to form a shape. And that shape has a reading. Approach the decision, we get close to saying it. Then you adjust every time, not because the decision changed, because something in the room pressed on you. Not loudly, not aggressively, just enough. So, why does this keep happening? The easy answer to say is pressure. The room got heavy, that you didn't want conflict. The timing wasn't right, but that's not it. Those are the reasons you give yourself after. You sound reasonable, they let you move on. But if you sit with it a little longer, something else starts to surface. Think about the last time it happened. You had the sentence, you were ready. Then something in the room shifted and the sentence changed. Here's the question nobody asks. What exactly were you protecting? Not the relationship, not the timing, not the room. You were protecting yourself from the moments after the decision land. Not the decision itself, what comes right after it. The reaction, the silence, the possibility that someone pushes back, a possibility that someone is uncomfortable, a possibility that you're wrong. That's the moment you will avoid it, not the decision. what it exposes you to. And here's where it gets interesting. Because that feeling, that tightening before you speak, isn't weakness. It's not a character flaw. It's not something broken in you. It's a pattern you built without realizing it. Every time you soften a decision, the discomfort went away. The room stayed comfortable. The conversation kept moving, nothing broke. And your brain remembered that softening worked. It reduced the pressure. It kept things smooth. So your brain offered it to you again the next time, and the time after that, and another time after that, until softening stopped feeling like a choice. It started feeling like the right thing to do, like consideration, like good judgment, like leadership. But it wasn't any of these things. It was a pattern keeping you comfortable at the exact moment clarity was needed. I want to tell you something that happened to me. Early in my work days, I was in a conversation with someone. The direction was wrong. I knew it before I walked in. I had the sentence ready, 3 words. Final, clear, unambiguous. Then I sat down, they started talking, with a confident, detailed, convincing tone. And I felt it, that tightly, that quiet pull to wait, to let them finish, to find a softer way in. So I adjusted. I asked Christian instead of stating the direction. The conversation ended without resolution. We scheduled another call, then another. 3 weeks later, nothing had moved. And I went back to the first moment. The sentence I had read, the 3 words I didn't say. Everything that followed, extra call, extended timeline. Every unclear outcome started in that moment. Not because the decision was wrong, because I didn't hold it when the room got slightly uncomfortable. That's when I understood something. The pressure in the room isn't the problem. The pressure is always going to be there. Rooms will always have signals. People will always react. There will always be tension before something firm is said. That part is constant. The only variable is whether the sentence changes. And here's what nobody tells you about that moment. The discomfort you feel right before you say it doesn't mean the decision is wrong. It means the decision is real. It means it's about to leave you and enter the room. It means someone is about to hear something final. It means things is about to move. That feeling isn't the warning. It means the decision is about to land. The sentence needs to stay intact. Before we continue, if this is landing, if you're recognizing the pattern in yourself, there's more where this came from. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, because this is the work we do here. Not motivation, not generic advice, but just the pattern that are quietly running things, named clearly so you can see them. Now, let's keep going. Here's the part that doesn't get talked about. Not the moment itself, what imputes it over time. Because one softened decision doesn't break any day. You move on, the day continues, nothing looks different. But something small has already shifted. And small shifts repeated enough stops being small. The first place you feel it is in the numbers. Not all at once, quietly. Prices get negotiated more than they should. Deadlines get moved, margins tighten slowly. Discounts get offered before anyone asks. Nothing breaks, but nothing pulls either. And when you look at the numbers at the end of the month, something feels off. Not dramatically, just slightly below where it should be. And it's hard to point to one reason, because there isn't one reason. There are 20 small moments. Each one where the sentence gets changed. Each one where the numbers moved. Each one where the boundaries soften. They don't show up individually, they show up in the total. The second place you feel it is in the people around you. Your team, your clients, the people you work with every day. They don't sit down and analyze you. They don't write notes about your pattern, but they watch. They watch how decisions land or don't. They watch whether the direction holds or whether it shifts when someone pushes slightly. And over time, they calibrate to that, not to your intention, to your delivery. So when you say something, they don't hear your decision. They hear a starting point, something to respond to. Something that might move if they wait long enough. And they adjust accordingly. They are not responding to your intention. They are responding to your pattern. Not because they are difficult, because you show them how. The third place is quieter than both of those. It's internal. Decisions that used to move quickly start taking longer. You revisit them, rephrase them, think through how they will land before you say them. Not because they are unclear, because you remember that feeling, that tight thing before the moment arrives. And you start trying to manage it in advance. So you prepare more, you plan more, you think through scenarios, and the decisions still soften when the moment comes. Because preparation was never the problem, the moment was. Then something happens, the quietest cost of all. You start to expect yourself to adjust. Before the room does anything, before anyone reacts, before a single word is spoken, you already know somewhere in the back of your mind that the sentence is going to change. And that expectation starts to shape how you show up even before pressure arrives. Internally, it sounds like this. Let me see how the room feels first. I'll decide once I hear their reaction. I'll keep it flexible for now, which sounds reasonable, even careful. What is actually doing is moving decision out of your hand even before you walk in. And once the decision lives in the environment controls it. And the environment is always shifting. Here's what all of this adds up to. Not a bad quarter, not a difficult thing, not bad timing or a tough market, a pattern. A quiet one that started in a single moment when the sentence changed. And when compounded over time, that's the real cost. Not one bad decision. A slow drift that follows every time the sentence changes. So, where does this leave you? With a choice. Not a dramatic one. Not a complete overhaul. Just a choice that happens in a single moment. Those final few seconds right before the sentence leaves you. The first part is the familiar one. You feel the pressure, we notice the shift in the room. The silence, the look, the pause, and the sentence changes. Just slightly, just enough. The sharp edge comes off. The puffer gets added. The decision lands halfway. Nothing breaks. The conversation keeps going. The room stays comfortable, but the drift continues. Numbers stay slightly below where they should be. Standards stay slightly below than reset them. Decisions take slightly longer than they used to. And over time, the slight drift becomes your baseline. And that's not because you chose it, because you kept choosing comfort in those final few seconds. The second part feels different. Not louder, not aggressive, not more forceful. Just different in one specific moment. We feel the same pressure, we notice the same signal, the same pause, the same shift in the room. But the sentence is intact. You say it as it was. Clean, direct, unpadded. And then you let the room react. It feels heavy for a few seconds. The silence might stretch slightly longer than feels comfortable. Someone might shift in their chair and then it settles. Because clarity has weight, and once it lands, people adjust to it. Not around, to it. Over time, something else changes too. Your pace comes back. Decisions that were taking too long starts moving again. The people around you stop treating your word as the starting point. You start treating them as the direction. The numbers stabilize, not dramatically, just steady, because the signal got clean. And those final few seconds, the one that used to feel like something to survive starts feeling familiar. Not comfortable exactly, but steady, because you've done it before and you know what happens. A sentence saying that they will adjust. That's the choice. Not once, not in a big moment. In every small moment where the pressure shows up and the sentence is ready and the room shifts slightly. That's where it happens. Every single time. If this landed, if you recognize yourself somewhere in this video, you already did the hard part. You saw it. That recognition is the starting point. Not motivation, not a plan. Just the ability to see the moment clearly when it arrives and you reel. If you want more of this, subscribe. This is what we do here. We look at the patterns that are quietly running things, and we name them clearly enough that you can finally do something about them. There's a new video every week. Each one is built around one specific pattern, one specific cost, one specific moment where things change. If this one helps, the next one will too. I'll see you there.